I'm Mr. Sappy, and this is Sappy House. I'm so glad you're back. I hope you've had an amazing week. And first off, I'm just really excited you're here because this week's going to be a little bit different. Really what I want to talk about is something that comes from a quote. And that quote is from a guy that I have a really hard time saying his name, but it's Friedrich Nietzsche. I probably just I just botched that so bad. But the quote says, "Those who fight with dragons for too long become dragons themselves. And those that gaze into the abyss gazes right back." And so today's title of conversation, and I'm going to see where this goes. I don't really know where it's going to go. I have a few points in my head. Is called Into the Dragon's Lair. The lair of the dragon. All of us have a dragon's lair. A haunting. A shadow. That thing within us, or that place where we don't want to touch, and we don't want to look, and we don't want to go on that journey of figuring out, because there's a dragon in there, right? That's what everyone's telling us. And I want you to be able to hear what I'm saying metaphorically, and I want you to be able to hear what I'm saying and piece this together as I'm talking, because this is going to be kind of metaphorical, fictional. But I just know that you're going to pick up what I'm putting down, because you're smart and we can think deep together. We've been made to believe that there is a dragon in our lair, in the darkest parts of us. And I want to pick apart this quote a bit, because I like what he said. He said, "Those that fight too much with dragons become dragons themselves." And I started thinking, if I could aim this quote inwardly, if we're being honest, dragons aren't real. I don't think. Dragons are from fairyland, Game of Thrones. It's like a figment of our imagination. And I think that's what he was getting at, is that if we fight with the shadow for too long, we're just going to turn into a shadow. So listen to me. If each of us have a lair, and there's supposedly a dragon in that lair, and we don't want to go into that lair because we don't want to know what's in there or what's going to hurt us, there could be a huge dragon. All we do is fight the shadow of a dragon and the breath of a dragon. We never see it. We don't know what it is. Those that fight with dragons for too long will become a dragon themselves. And this battle with this shadow and imagination, really, Mr. Fear, deception, that these ugly things are in us and we keep fighting, we turn into that ugly thing. We turn into the shadow ourselves. Maybe we even turn into a dragon. Obviously not a real one, but we might act like one. The next part of the quote says, "And those who gaze into the abyss for too long, the abyss gazes back." And when you're about to walk into a lair, a dragon's lair, it's a tunnel, it's this long cave. You don't know where it's going. All you know is you smell dragon, you hear the screeches, and you're like, hell no, I'm not going in that cave. I am not going in there. And all we usually tend to do is just look at it our whole lives. We'll just turn away, look back. Oh, yep, that's the dragon's lair. And I think it's funny that he didn't say those who walk into the abyss. He just said gaze, those who look at it. We're not meant for looking. We're meant for questing. We're meant for journeying. We're meant for walking into the abyss. I think that's really important to understand here. The only way that you're going to fight your dragon, if there is one, is by walking into the abyss and not gazing at it. Because if you continue just gazing at the abyss, it's just going to overtake you. Just like if I fight with a dragon too much, I will become a dragon. It's saying the same thing. The abyss, the dragon, all of us have this. And so what this quote is trying to tell us is, hey, I know you've heard all of these myths and tales, but what if you went and figured it out yourself? What if instead of gazing and being so scared that you're going to get eaten by something or whatever, you walk into the dark and go see it for yourself? Very scary thing. Not many people would do that because Mr. Fear has lied. I walked into the dragon's lair. And let me tell you, it was scary as shit. And my whole life up until I was 27 years old, 2 years ago, really 2.5 years ago now, all I could do was bury the abyss and numb it and act like it wasn't there. And when I looked at it, my life, I was hopeless. And I knew that there was just this thing in me like, I can't go there. We can't go there. That's too deep. We can't go back. There's a dragon back there. I'm here to tell you to stop gazing. I'm here to tell you to stop fighting with the dragon that you haven't even met. I'm here to tell you to start walking into the lair, into the abyss. And it's a bit of a walk. It's dark. All you have is your torch. You feel alone. You see human skulls on the ground, and it's dripping with humidity because there's something back there that's just so scary you can't even feel it. The smell of it. This is what healing feels like sometimes. And you keep walking and you keep doing it and you keep putting one foot after another and you say, you know what, abyss, you know what, dragon, I'm coming for you. Because why not? I'm going to sit here and listen to fear all day. I have the ability and I have the permission to search myself endlessly. And why would you, Mr. Fear, tell me that I can't have that part of me? What do you mean I can't go? What do you mean I can't go into my own lair and look? What do you mean there's a dragon back there that's going to eat me? It's the battle between light and shadow within, the duality of it. You are light, and you can bring light into the lair. That's why I got a torch with you. I'm here to give you the courage to walk into the abyss, because I'm going to tell you what you're going to find, and it's going to blow your mind. It will literally blow your mind. For all these years, we've been so scared of dragons and all the stories. And I'm not talking about dragons. I hope you know that. I'm talking about fear and all this other stuff. I'm using dragon as a metaphor. For all these years, we've been so scared of this dragon that's haunted this city and town. And you go on this excursion, you go on this journey, you walk, like I said, it smells, it's crazy. You're walking through there and one step after another, and it's scary. And sometimes you turn back and take a few steps backwards, and you turn around and keep going forward, and you're like, I got to get back here. I have to see what this is. And you finally get to where there's an opening. And you're like, I've come this far. If I've come this far, what's to keep me from going a little bit further? And you round the corner and you shine your light, and you see claw marks on the wall, but no dragon. And there's nowhere else to go. The whole room is blocked off. And you say, I thought there was a dragon here. And then you hear a whimper. And you turn really fast with your torch, and you see little you. And they're kind of pissed. And they're dirty. And they're scared. And they don't feel safe. And you realize that it was never a dragon, it was just you. And you realize that it wasn't not that it was just you, it was the little you that was hurt and became this part of you because you buried it. I hope you're following me. That's what I found at the end of my lair. Me. About 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. I remember looking at him and just being like, yo, what the fuck? And being like, yo, like, why did you leave me? Why'd you leave me in here? Who told you to put me here? Who told you this was off limits? I don't know how to get out of here. I'm too young. I don't have a light or anything. I've been stuck here for years. And it smells like shit. And in that moment, you come to a realization. You believed a myth. And Mr. Fear is a very good storyteller. He wants you to think there's a dragon in there because he doesn't want you to find you. And it's a beautiful thing because you chose, and maybe you will choose, to take the trip into the dragon lair. It's what you're going to find. And the beautiful part of it is that you made that decision, and now you have the ability to be gentle with that child within you. And you have the ability to reparent that child within you. And you have the ability to be like, damn, I'm sorry. Like, damn it. I'm sorry. Let's get you out of here. I love you. Let's get you out of here. Let's get some water. Let's get some food. That's what I mean by saying be gentle with you. Be gentle with yourself, please. Go find you. I'll see you next week.